Today we're discovering the creative process and passions of emerging Canadian artists making waves in their hometowns. Here on Spotlight Features, Music Makers. In the spirit of respect and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we are filming on Bawatang, unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Nation. Under the Robertson-Huron Treaty, we want to recognize the traditional homeland of the Batchewana, Garden River, and Métis Region No. 4 people. Welcome to Spotlight Features, Music Makers. My name is Dan Neisted, and I'm head of video production here at The Loft in Sault Ste. Marie. This premier performance and recording space is part of the Algoma Conservatory of Music, and being surrounded by music every day is an honor. I've spent much of my career crafting and making music videos and documentaries for countless bands, and with every show I record here, I'm reminded of the absolute magic that music can bring to our lives. And I'm thrilled to share this experience with you in our amazing space. Canada is home to an abundance of gifted musicians and artists, and Jay Case is definitely one of them. His passion and dedication for creating music is truly inspiring. Based in Sault Ste. Marie, Jay draws inspiration from the breathtaking natural surroundings of Algoma, blending his love for music and the outdoors to produce original scores for the Beauty of the Backcountry, his YouTube channel, which he produces with his partner Sherry. I think you'll be amazed at how Jay's music adds to the beauty of the backcountry.
Scoring a video is about setting a mood and telling a story through that mood. For us, telling the story has to include emotive music and compelling soundtrack. My name is Jay Case. I'm a musician based in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Come from a very musical family. I'm a songwriter as well. I've been writing songs for just about as long as I've been playing. I tour. I've toured most of Canada into the United States. I even toured Germany a couple of years ago with original music. Music, it touches every aspect of my life. Very few points in the day I'm not listening to music. There's very few points in the day I'm not thinking about new music and writing. And it dovetails really nicely with other things that I do in my life. So I used to get out in nature all the time. I've been doing that since before I could remember. I never saw those things meeting until I couldn't tour anymore. My partner and I, Sherry, we started going camping a lot more and canoeing because we had the time for it. And then it became a musical outlet for me as well because we started a YouTube channel. For a period of time I couldn't write, I just had serious writer's block. It gives me the opportunity to score the videos and to write new material, to write new music, even repurposing old music that I have recorded and toured for years and just shedding new light on it and using that to score videos, which is a unique thing in the world that we're in, I think. Sometimes canoe tripping is tough.
Completing just 30 kilometers in 2 long days of travel, we'd face some grueling challenges.
Over the past year, we've started improving a fair bit with our storytelling. We don't want to just show videos of us traveling through the forest. We want to tell a story and we want to connect with people. I actually get really excited and I watch the video through the rough edit and then I sit down with an instrument, whether it be piano or guitar or something else, and then just sort of build that emotion of the certain parts so that it flows well. Definitely the footage will dictate the music. And then I just try to write music or choose the music that best suits the mood that's being set or the emotion that we want to convey. And then when it gets close, and I show to Sherry, because she gets the final say on the edits, and she sort of starts nodding and she's in agreement that it's good, then yeah, it's pretty special. It's like, I did that. That's cool. It feels great to finish a video. It's like music though, you never feel like it's done, but you have to let it go at some point.
Experience the transformative power of harp therapy as Heather uncovers the profound impact her music has on patients, seniors, and healthcare providers of Quesnel. Through the harp's resonance and Heather's keen attention, she plays songs for healing and hope.
It's the resonance of the harp, and they've done a lot of research of harp therapy and how it can slow down or stabilize heart rhythms. I was playing at the hospital, and this man came and he just stood beside me, and he just stood there. And I finished playing, and he goes, "Oh, thank you so much. My stress level was up here, and now it's down here." About 15 years ago, Don surprised me totally out of the blue with a harp book. And I thought, what's this? Anyway, he had a lesson set up with somebody who used to live here in Quesnel. And I rented a harp for 4 or 5 months and then bought my own. The little community of Wells, an hour out of Quesnel, has an amazing harp school. Every year for about 27, 28 years, they've had this school, and people come from all over the world. The first year my instructor came from Israel to teach at Wells. People there had taken this harp therapy course, and it wasn't something I'd ever heard of. They had different people, some had already graduated from the program, and they said it was the most rewarding thing they had ever done. And I thought, really? Don't you have a life? And that's honestly my thought. So I started it, and as part of my program, I had to play at the bedside for 100 different patients. Yeah, they are so right. There's probably nothing more rewarding that I've ever done than playing at the bedside. It's just brings joy to my heart to give joy to others and to volunteer and give back to our community. It's just a wonderful feeling. For therapeutic music, I play in the chemo ward at the hospital as well as upstairs on the 3rd floor where all the patients are. And the music is very good for patients, for their families. They're stressed too, as well as the staff. Staff are busy and sometimes run off their feet. One day I was playing up on the 3rd floor and a bunch of nurses came and stood, put their head on their hand around the desk at the nurse's station and just stood there, just absorbing it in. So yeah, just lots of special memories with special people along the way. Many of them I'll never see again, but you know, the music has touched them in a deep way. You have to observe the patient. You can tell a lot by their face. If they're starting to relax, you go, okay, this kind of music is working well for them. Or not, and change it in the moment. That's why the live music is so important, because you can change on the spur of the moment. Recorded music, you can't.
After moving to Canada in 2019, rookie Camille has been on a musical journey, finding his own unique Afro-fusion sound by fusing his Nigerian heritage with Western influences from his new home. He has created something truly special and unique.
Every other thing that she idolize. Just because of you, I got it terrorize.
Music, to me, has always been a bridge. It connects people in different ways. You have cut off that barrier of, oh, we're separate people, and there is now a uniting factor, which is music. And I haven't seen any other bridge that is as effective as that.
We can play in the weekend too. So feeling making love when we wasted, but love can be weekend too.
I am Rookie, also known as Rookie Kamiz. I am an Afrofusion artist based in Canada right now. I am Nigerian and I make Afrofusion music, which is a mix of Afrobeats, hip-hop, R&B, and soul. I came from Nigeria in 2019 to Canada for studies. I started music way young when I was in the choir, and that's where I developed my love for music. But it wasn't until high school that I actually entrenched it into my soul and be like, yeah, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life.
This your body is a miracle, but the most incredible.
Music is a universal language. Music holds no barriers. And music is also something that is different for different cultures and different environments. So coming to Canada, I found the music taste here different from what I was used to in Nigeria. So what did I do? Connect the bridge. And so that's why I switched into Afrofusion, being able to, transfer all that knowledge I have from Afrobeats back home and, all the genres I get to meet here in Canada, I kind of fuse it to create my own unique sound. I think one of the biggest challenges I've faced in my musical journey is trying to prove myself. Most people see music as a hobby, and the only respected musicians are those you see on the limelight. I wish more people can see the potential that music has. As a creative person, I think one of my biggest takeaways is being able to bring things from the supernatural world into the natural. When I create and when I perform music, permit me to say, I feel like God. I feel really good. I feel at my best. I feel at peace. That moment, I get to be myself. I don't get to worry. I don't get to think about anything that disrupts my thoughts. I just get to have fun. And when the people I'm performing to are also having fun, it makes it even way better. And I feel like I am communicating. And at that point in my life, I am giving them something that they would not forget. And that moment where they get to actually feel something from what I am giving them in terms of my performance or when I'm creating the music, it's unmatched. I see myself taking my music all around the world, being a global ambassador for all the things I believe in, for my family, for my country, for Canada, for everyone who has ever supported me and pushed me along this journey. Regardless of anything, I would always be fulfilled with the fact that I am able to make music and share it with people. Even if the acknowledgement comes years from now or it comes tomorrow, as long as I am able to put out all the music I have in my soul, I think I'll be happy.
When I am down, you leave me up from good to better. Canadian burger, Canadian burger.
Writing a song is more than just putting words on paper. It's a way to express yourself and work through challenging moments. In our next story, Cranbrook, British Columbia's Clayton Parsons takes us inside the art of songwriting as he puts the finishing touches on his latest release. His insight and passion for songwriting are sure to leave you feeling inspired and eager to explore your own creativity.
I think the feeling of writing a song for the first time, it's like, I can do this. I have it in me. I think it's, felt the most when you actually record it and put it down on something, and then being able to listen back to it and hear it and go like, oh, that's actually not terrible. It's decent. I feel like for me, music has always been like a connecting thing and a therapeutic thing. In my family growing up, all of us played different instruments and we would all jam together. It was always like this therapeutic, fun, connecting thing. The writing process has always been the same, and I think it's easy to be going through something and then try to process that out in words and give, voice to some emotions. That feeling of capturing where you're at and then moving on.
Got a new house in the same old town, but I'm not quite ready to land.
For me, the creative process has a few points in the day where it's really effective, and for me it's the morning, like kind of first thing in the morning, and then in the evening, like after my day is finished and I'm just sitting around. Those are the times in my day where like my analytical brain is a little more tired and my creative brain is just like awake and doing its thing. Inspiration seems to just like sometimes come out of nowhere, and you want to capture that in the moment. I'm writing lyrics in my phone, I'm taking voice memos. If I have a few lines that pop into my head or a melody, I'll sing it into my phone. And then when I come and sit down and actually start writing stuff, I can refer back to a bunch of stuff that I've captured. I wrote this song called Breaking Down, and it was actually right at the end of the pandemic. And my wife and me had bought this house that we're in, and it was sort of after a long season of like just very busy with work and kind of stressful. And then we took this backpacking trip across Spain. And so part of the song was just processing that whole season of like buying a house, but just kind of like saying goodbye. Like we bought the house and then a week later we went and took 7 weeks and left. We're up on these hills in Spain. We're walking through like these cornfields and there's these windmills, and this line came to me, like that phrase, milling about with the windmills out on the hills of places I ain't been before. And I wrote that in my phone as we were walking.
Milling about with some windmills out on the hills of places I ain't been before.
When it comes to the lyrics and the music of a song, for me it's way easier to just sit and play for a while and let the feelings of the music sort of draw out some words. This was one of the songs that I wrote most of it without any of the music, and then came home and figured out how to put it to music and break it into some kind of a structure and put melody to it, which was just a fun challenge for me. I think the recording process is fun because it's like the final test to see if it's a good song, and to be able to listen back to it and just kind of soak in it. The win is when it impacts someone else. Whatever the thing that I'm just processing, all of a sudden has some kind of effect on someone else, and they see themselves in that story. It's a privilege and a pleasure, and when that happens, it like comes back to the beginning of what music has always been, which is a connecting, grounding thing that brings people together and helps you just feel like a community.
Kick up your feet and settle down, and let's try this again.
Jessica Hayes is a university student who has been honing her operatic talents since childhood. She loves how opera enables her to portray different characters while experiencing the stories of women from various historical periods. Pursuing a music degree and improving her vocal abilities is only the beginning of her journey towards achieving her dream of becoming an opera singer.
I love opera because it's so passionate, it's so emotional. There's this huge drama about it, right? You really get to play into some deep emotions. I was doing a lot of competitions and performing in high school, and the more that I was doing that, the more I was like, this would be a really cool thing to do for the rest of my life. I'm Jessica Hayes. I'm from Thunder Bay, born and raised, and I'm an opera singer. I'm currently studying at Lakehead University for my Honors Bachelor of Arts with a specialization in music and vocal performance, and I'm minoring in women's studies. I grew up in a home that was very musical. My grandma was always playing opera whenever I was over there, and I loved it, so she would give me these opera CDs to take home. I would go to the symphony a lot with my family as well, and so it was so cool, and I think I was really drawn at the time to like all of like the pretty dresses and how nice they sound, and I was like, I want to do that too.
Okay, I'm so proud of Jess. She's come so far. Oh, she's the best. It's a gift, really. It's a gift.
I think opera is really special because you get to see a lot of insight from different periods of time. I mean, some of the first operas that I've been exposed to and singing along with is operas from like the 1600s even, and so it's just I get to step out of this modern time and go be someone else and see what those kind of struggles would be like and see how different it is. I mean, the way that women were treated then and what was important to them and how they felt about certain things versus now, it's changed so much. So I think sometimes it's interesting to kind of see the contrast and honestly, it makes me a lot more grateful about how things are now. But I definitely think it's important to be able to explore that kind of time period and that stuff. So I love being able to do that.
I would love to make this my full-time career.
It's such a scary thing to get into. You know, you always hear about the starving artist. And I was like, well, I don't really want to be in that category forever. But you know, you just want to take that chance, you want to take that leap. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but I still did it. And I can be proud of what I put forth. And I'm here and I'm continuing to take this leap, and you know, we'll see what the future holds. It's very competitive and there's a lot, you know, that you have to hurdle over, but it's something that I'm willing to do and I'm willing to try for, and I'm really, really happy. So at the end of the day, that's what matters for me.
Canadian-based Nigerian hip-hop and R&B artist Sky immigrated to Canada to study and build a better life. However, family problems forced him to leave school, and he found himself living on the streets of Winnipeg. Undeterred, Sky is now passionately pursuing his dream in music, aspiring to represent himself on a global stage.
I'm Sky. I'm a local upcoming artist. My music varies from 80s retro pop to R&B. I hope that this drive I have for music right now stays forever. And I hope to take music as far as possible. I'm not doing this just to be the biggest artist in my city. We'll take it to the max until the end. It might seem unrealistic, but I aim to be the biggest in the world. It all started off as a little hobby, but it grew into a passion. It helped me meet a lot of people. I've met decent people, I've met family. I've been to places that I never expected I'd be. I've had interactions with people I never expected I would have. Inspired so many people I never thought I'd inspire. I came all the way from Nigeria to Canada. I came here for school. I was trying to get into mechanical engineering, and eventually I switched because I realized it wasn't for me. My dad had to file for bankruptcy, having no support anymore from my parents. One thing led to another. I was too shy to reach out to anyone. I was too self-absorbed to reach out to anyone, and I ended up being homeless. I would stay on the buses to the end of the route, to the end of the stop, and then switch buses. Times where people would just kick me off for sleeping in the bus. I don't think I'd be the person I am if not for those experiences. I came here 17. I had no one that was really there to guide me. I had to hit rock bottom. I had to fall down to learn how to get up. the church they were providing services for the homeless. And constantly going led me to meet someone, to have an interaction with someone who apparently he said I looked like a rapper. And with a little bit of persistence from his side, I went to the studio that he invited me to. This place is way different than the booth that we had.
Right?
Yeah. That's where I met Osani. They were really welcoming, and music. I started off with just making beats, but I fell in love with the whole process. It was like a place you go to shut yourself out, just like your happy place. Yeah. Yeah. Music is all I have. I have no plan B. I'm just doing this to change as many lives as I can, because my whole life was changed from someone just inviting me to a studio, being persistent, seeing something in me. So I'm doing this to spread as much inspiration to anyone. I don't just make random songs. If you listen to my songs, you feel like you're part of the set. They're not like what you hear on, they're not typical mainstream. You at least get one or two things from that song. Because I make everyone feel involved. I have a huge and uncontrollable drive for it.
And there you have it, folks. That brings us to the end of our performance here in the Loft in Sault Ste. Marie. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you enjoyed our collection of musical stories from across the country. And we'll see you next time on Spotlight Features.
Hi.